Guys, we are back in jQuery. Dynamic HTML, modifying HTML elements. We're about 40% done already. It's a short little jQuery course, but it is appreciated and it's free. I mean, what right do we have to complain about free, man? Alright, so in script.js, create a variable called h1. So remember, all our variables start off with like that. And I believe we have to, no, we don't have to do it like that because we're creating a JS variable. Set it equal to jQuery object containing an h1 with the text hello. So, if we look at the example here, we want this object. And inside there it says hello. And then /h1. The tag should be a string. So, okay. So it's a little odd at first, but we're saying select this HTML element. One second, I'm gonna close this door because they're doing some tree trimming. Alright, so next we are in script.js tab. Go ahead and append a paragraph to the body of your HTML document. So you can see right here, this kind of shows us what we want to do. So we want to do a few things. What do we want to do? So we're looking for body. In the script.js, go ahead and append a paragraph to the body of your HTML element. Okay, so it's kind of reverse of how I would think of it. And we're going to put I'm a paragraph in there. And then it's append to the body. I think that's right. Nope. It looks like you didn't add a P to the page. Check the hint if you need help. Oh, okay. So we have to get everything started, right? Document dot ready. And then we need our function here. And we also need a semicolon. And then we need to put this inside of there. And now let's see if we did it right. So apparently we have to put a slash like that. Oh, we had it the wrong way. And then it goes into the body. And we also have to put the slash because apparently it's apostrophes, it gets a little confused. Go ahead and add a p tag to the dot after the div. Go ahead. So this is an example, that's good. You can place any text you like in your p tag. So let's go ahead and get this ready again. Document. Document.ready, and inside here we have our function that does some stuff. Alright, so we got that set up. Next we need to add a p tag to the dot after. So where does this p tag want to go? For the ID 1, So it needs to go to Neo, hence the one. Sorry, I watched a trailer for The Matrix randomly. Now I've been thinking about watching it. But yeah, dot after. So after that, we want to add some stuff. What do we want to add? We want to add a paragraph. Oh no, excuse me, a div. Oh no, we want to add a paragraph to the div. And we want it to say working with jQuery. And you can see it got added there. Cool. So in script.js, add a new line below your code to move your p tag after the div with ID 1. Create a new jQuery selector that selects the div 2. Alright. In the script.js, add a new line below your code. I put a semicolon there. To move your p tag after the div with ID 1. So we want to change this to this is what we had. And excuse me, this is what we have. This is what they want. I'm a little confused about what they're asking, so we're going to go to the forum and see what's going on here. But I think once I see the example, it should all make sense. This is number 4. Moving elements around. This ask us to add new line codes from p tag. Isn't that all you did? Sorry, I'm lost. I am too. Don't feel bad. There's a disconnect between 0 and 1 and 0 and 2, where they should all actually be the same. So this is what we have. Equal to line code below would be so it sounds like they just want us, if I understand this correctly, they just want us to move it to the end of our 2. So in this case, they just want to switch it to the bottom of here, but they still want us to leave this first line up. So they're saying move anything that's a paragraph to the end. Is that what's going on here? I think that's what's going on. Go ahead and remove your p tag from your HTML document. Okay, so you can see right here we want to remove. So we're looking for the p, and we want to remove. And it removes the p tag. So now that we think of it, that highlighted class seems like a great idea. We've supplied the HTML and CSS in the script.js tab. Add the jQuery code next to make your #text div highlighted, then clicked. Make sure to click submit and then click highlight me too to see the results. Alright, so it looks like we have to get all this going. So we have document .ready function. Okay. Let's look at the hint. So .click, then we have another function, and then this .func. So I'm highlighted, we have text, we have class highlighted, and ID. Alright, so we want to select an element In this case, it's the text, pound text, and we're going to say dot click, perform a function, and then we want to say whichever item that we're clicking is this current item that's getting clicked. So apparently that func is the way that we can just say what class to use. In this case, we want to use highlighted. So when we click this, func is not a function. Huh. Dot highlighted. So let's see here. So it's saying on our text. So we're doing one of our classes, I think, is wrong. So let's go ahead and take a look at the form because we're probably almost there. This is 6 of 14. Specifically, no, it was adding and removing classes. So let's see what's going on here. So we're good on the dot click, and so they use an add class function to call this. So apparently this func is a jQuery function you should use to add the class, but that's not working. So let's try add class. Oops. Oh, it's not working either. So maybe our paragraphs are off somewhere. So document ready function text dot click function this dot add class. Oh. There it is. And you see how it's highlighted now? It was our dot right there. Apparently when we're calling the style sheet, it doesn't work that way when we use the add class. I'm not sure why their func doesn't work, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. So add class is how we're going to be able to add the style sheet to that on the click. So change your add class to toggle class. So this is probably gonna let us on click toggle to see how it turns on and off. So you can see right here, on, off, on, off, on, off. So let's get some practice in. Change the div in your HTML document so that it's a height of 200 pixels. Oh, not in here. And a width of 200 pixels and a border radius of 10 pixels. Let's make this happen immediately without the need of a click. So, just set everything up. Document dot ready function and then we'll just have it run immediately, so we don't need to say we don't need to do anything else. We're just going to say that for div dot height, we want it to have 200 pixels, and then comma div width, we want it to have 200 pixels, and then for div dot border dash radius, we want it to have 10 pixels. Semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. Yeah, so let's see if that's it. Border radius is not a function. Border dash radius. Radius is not defined. Radius is not defined. Alright, so let's see how people change border radius. 8 of 14. Changing your style. div.css border radius. So let's see. Alright, so apparently the way they do it. Oh, you know what? We didn't do everything we need to do, so 0. Actually, they declare it like this. Border radius, I think, has a couple different parameters, and that's probably why we can't do it like that. Did you give your div border radius? It looks like radius is not defined. 2. Alright, I don't remember what all the parameters are, but apparently we can do it like this as well. So we can just say use the .css border radius function with 10 pixels, and you can see our corners are curved now. Excuse me. We've added a paragraph to our HTML document. Use the .html function to set its text to jQuery magic in action. Don't forget the exclamation point. Alright, so we have to get our jQuery ready, so document, and then this is .ready function, and in here we want to say that for, I'm about to change, for the p tag .html jQuery magic in action. You know the drill, get your document ready. At this point, we should, right? So document dot ready function dot oop. All right, so our shit's ready to go. Excuse me. Let's create a dot click event handler for the button element. Let's create a dot click event handler for the button element. All right. So on our button, dot click, we want a function that does some shit. Make sure you pass it to the dot function. Inside your function, create the variable to add. So we want to say to add and set it equal to the contents of your input field. And let's see how they do that. So to add, and then if we look here, check list item, we want to add this. So we're saying when we click our button add, we want to use the input of the name and set the name equal to the checklist item. And if you check here, our checklist item is our name. So that makes sense. And now when we run it, did you create a variable to add? Yes. Oh, var. Oh, do we not need our JavaScript? Apparently we don't need this on there. My mistake. Don't forget your variable. Alright, go ahead and append a div with your class item equal to item to the list. So then make sure to click your button to add the item, the exercise. So append, so div. Go ahead and dot append a div with your class is equal to item. You'll need to alternate question marks here since the HTML string you're using appends needs to be a quote, but so does your class name. Alright, so in our dot list div, so when we add that, we want to say for this, for the dot list dot append go ahead and append a div with your class item dot item. I think that's right. So whenever let's test it out, make sure we can see it. So we want to add cheese. I don't know why. Oh, something happened, but apparently it says it's right, but it's not displaying properly, or maybe we haven't had it displayed yet. Complete your programming by adding the .on event handler as described above. It should go inside your document ready, but after and outside your pound button .click. So let's look at the .on. So we're saying document .on event selector function do something. In this case, event will be click, selector will be item, and call remove on this. So document.on. Is that what they want us to do? So they just wanted us to change that, be familiar with it, and here we are. You did it. Congratulations. We're getting this right here, syntax error, unexpected number. I'm not sure what that means, but hey, we finished this section, modifying HTML elements. Not too bad. jQuery stuff, a lot. I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff you can do with jQuery. And up next, we'll be doing a review of jQuery events and going from there. But so far, so good. I really like this, and it's a great skill to kind of get familiar with. A lot of job apps I've been applying for, they want you to know jQuery, and I'm just not familiar with it at all. So at least I can be like, look, I've taken an online course on it, a brief one at that. But hey, but as always, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, just go ahead and shoot me a comment or a message, and I'll get back to you when I can. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.